We'll start with reading of Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta. Jaya Jaya Śrī Caitanya Jaya Nityānanda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Śrī Caitanya Jaya Nityānanda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Vande Guru Nisha Bhakta Nisha Nishavatarakan Tat Prakasham Satat Shakti Krishna Chaitanya Sangyakam Vande Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityaānanda Sahoditau Gaududaye Pushpavanatau Chitrau Sandau Tamonudau Granthira Arambha Kori Mangala Charana Guru Vaishnava Bhagavan Tinera Smarana Hoya Bigana Vinashana Anayasa Safal Nija Vanchita Purana Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin iti namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityaananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Brinda Hare Kṛṣṇa Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear worshipable devotees, thank you so much for joining. We are reading Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta Adi Lila, chapter 5, entitled The Glories of Lord Nityaānanda Balarāma. Shri Balaram ji ka gungan ho raha hai. So text 67 we will read. In particular, we are talking about Shri Karanodakshaya Vishnu. Aganya Anantayata Anda Sannivesha Tatarupe Purusha Kare Sabhate Prakasha. Translation by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The Purusha enters each and every one of the countless universes. He manifests himself in as many separate forms as there are universes. Hare Kṛṣṇa. So, the first Purusha incarnation, referring to Karanodakshaya Vishnu, which we have discussed from text number 50 onwards, practically till text 64. In multiple verses we have discussed. Now we are talking about his glories of Karanodakshaya Vishnu, or also known as Mahavishnu. So that Mahavishnu or Karanodakshaya Vishnu expands himself in countless other incarnations, and which enter other universes, countless universes. The word used is Anda. Anda is the egg-shaped universes. The universes are in the shape of the egg or the oval. So Sabhate Prakasha, and then he enters in that in many separate forms. So basically referring him, the Garbhodakshaya Vishnu enters the second Purusha avatar. So we can go to the next one. Yes, Vipul Prabhu, you want to read?
Sure, Guruji. Hare Kṛṣṇa devotees, the Pranam, all glories to Śrīla Prabhupada. Text 68. Purush nashate jabe bahira shas nishas shoite har brahmanda prakash. Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti Swami Prabhupada, Śrīla Prabhupada ki joy. When the Purusha excels, the universe are manifested with each outer breath. So this Purusha is Karanodakshaya Vishnu. With his every exhalation, all the universes are manifested. And then Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, in the previous verse, who enters in the countless universes, to mm, the life, and the life is created in universes. Back to Prabhuji.
Thank you, bro. Thank you very nicely. There's no purport here, so we'll move to the next one, 69. If anyone is in a position to read, you can let me know. Otherwise, I'll read. Punarapi swasha yabe praveshe antare swasha saha brahmanda paisha purusha sharire. Thereafter, when he inhales, all the universes again enter his body. Purport. In his form as Karunadakshayi Vishnu, the Lord impregnates material nature by his glance. The transcendental molecules of that glance are particles of spirit or spiritual atoms. Which appear in different species of life according to the seeds of their individual karma. From the previous cosmic manifestation, and the Lord himself, by his partial representation, creates a body of innumerable universes and again enters each of those universes as Garbhodakshayi Vishnu. His coming in contact with Maya is explained in the Bhagavad Gita by a comparison between the air and the sky. The sky enters everything material, yet is far away from us. Hare Kṛṣṇa. So again, to reflect, when Mahavishnu, aka Karunadakshayi Vishnu, exhales, all the universes are manifested, as we read in the last verse. Just think about his greatness. When he's exhaling, we inhale like so many times a day. What happens? Nothing happens, only some bad smell or some bad particles come out, nothing else, right? But when the Lord exhales, unlimited universes are coming out. Just imagine, just by his exhalation. And when he inhales, all those are punarapi. What was the word used? Punarapi swasha yabe praveshe antare. They come again in the body of the Lord. When he inhales, all the universes come back. That's basically pralay. That's basically the annihilation, the full annihilation. And just between those two periods of exhalation and inhalation, we are, what to speak of, we take so many the soul moves in so many lifetimes in that inhalation. But Lord Brahma takes one lifetime. Between those two, inhalation and exhalation, that one breath of the Lord is basically equivalent to one lifetime of Brahma, which is equivalent to 100 years of his years, not our years. His one day or 12 hours are equivalent to 1,000 Chatur Yugas. That is like 432 times 10, so 4.3 million. So 4.3 trillion years are his 12 hours. That's lifetime of Brahma. 4.3 billion years. Billion, yeah. 4 is 12 hours. So that multiplied by 2 is 24 hours. That multiplied by 365 is basically 1 day, 1 year. And that multiplied by 100 is one lifetime of Brahma. So huge, trillions of years. And that's just happening between the inhalation and the exhalation of Mahavishnu. What happens, a little bit more details are mentioned here. Let's read a little bit together again. So that we have discussed. By the glance, he impregnates the material nature. We've covered that multiple times. The transcendental molecules of that glands are particles of spirit, the spirit soul or the spiritual atoms, which appear in different species of life according to the seeds of their individual karma. So very important point to understand here from the previous. So what happens during annihilation, that all the spirit's atoms or spiritual atoms, spirit souls, they enter the body of the Mahavishnu. But the conditioned mind, desires, past karma, all that slate, all that is still, that imprints are still there. Because the jiva, is going through all that until one goes back home, back to Godhead, those imprints are still there. And according to the past cosmic manifestation or the previous cosmic manifestation, the one will get the according individual body. Tiger, lion, bird, elephant, monkey, human, devata, etc., etc. And the Supreme Lord also creates the innumerable body of universes, which we discussed in the last verse, Anda, and he enters as Garbhodaksha Vishnu. So multiple things are happening here. Okay. Yes, Priya Mataji, you want to read text number 70? Or Ravi Prabhu?
Sure. Kavakesera randhere yena trasrenu kale purusera loma kupe brahmandere chale. Just as atomic particles of dust pass through the openings of a window, so the networks of universes pass through the pores of the skin of the Purusa.
Thank you, Mataji. There's no purport in this verse, but Kavakshari, a window of rooms, Randhira, Randhri. We have seen this, like sometimes we may open a window and sunlight is passing and we see a lot of dust particles, also moving in zigzag patterns, which is also called like Brownian movement. So those are so tiny particles and they just like, but similarly through the loma kupe. Loma is basically is like pores, skin pores, right? We have so many skin pores. A normal human being has, I don't know how many people, probably you can tell how many millions, trillions, a lot, right? So who can count the hairs on the head, right? Who can count the hairs on the body? It's impossible. So many, all these aromas, like trillions of these tiny holes are there on the body. Now we're talking about just analogy of like human body. What to speak of the body of the Supreme Lord, who is like infinite. And through his loma, all these universes are coming. Unlimited universes are coming. It reminds me of a story of Lomas Rishi. From the word Loma or Roma. And in Hindi, there's a bhajan also, Mere Roma Roma Basne Wale Shri Ram. In every Loma, a devotee is thinking about or the Lord is residing there in every atomic cell of the body of the devotee. The Supreme Lord resides, and the devotee always remembers. But once upon a time, there was Rishi. His name was Lomas Rishi. Lomas Rishi. He was meditating, doing his tapasya, doing his sadhana under the umbrella. Under the umbrella. And Indra approached him. Under the umbrella means that he had no home. When it used to rain, he would hold the umbrella. When it was too hot, he would hold the umbrella. That Indra approached him and asked, "Oh, great sage, you're doing so much tapasya, you're doing so much bhakti, you're doing a lot. Why don't you build some hut or some shelter so you don't have to worry about the heat and the rain?" He said, "Life is too short." Life is too short, right? And what is his lifespan? When one Brahma finishes his life, one Roma or one Loma of his body, like one hair follicle, will drop out. One hair of his body will drop when one Brahma leaves. And he will live till all the hairs of his body have not dropped out. And this great soul was telling that life is too short. Why do I need to build a shelter? I should focus on, while I spend my precious time in build. Of course, we cannot imitate that, but at least we can understand the mood that life is so short. This great soul who has trillions, and we cannot even imagine, like Brahma's lifetime, multiply that with the number of hairs on the body. It's a lot. And he is saying, my lifespan is so short. The materialistic people think, oh, I have a lot of long life. I have 50 years more to live. I have 20 years more to live. I have 100 years more to live. I will live away. I will never die. I am eternal. That's the conditioned soul thinks. But great souls always think that Kamala Dala Jala, Jivana Tala Mala. The drop of water is very fickle on the lotus petal. Similarly, the life, what may come tomorrow? Who knows what may come tomorrow? So he was meditating. His name was Lomas Rishi, and we are talking about the Loma of the Supreme Lord here, from where the planets or the universes come out. Any more thoughts? Any comments here? Okay, let's read the next verse, text 71. Yes, Vipul Prabhu, want to read?
Thank you, Guruji. I wish you was done with Pranam. Text 71. Jashaiko nishashito kalamotha balambo jibanti lomo biloja jagodando natha Vishnu mahan shahyo jasya kala vishesho govindam adipurusham tamaham bhajami. Translation and purport of His Divine Grace is Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. The Brahmas and other lords of the mundane worlds appear from the pores of Mahavishnu and remain alive for the duration of his one exhalation. I adore the primeval Lord Govinda, of whom Mahavishnu is a portion of a plenary portion. Purport: the description of the Lord's creative energy is from the Brahma Samhita 5.48, which Lord Brahma compiled after his personal realization. When Mahavishnu exhales, the spiritual seeds of the universe emanates from, sorry, there was a lot of noise. I close the door. Sorry, Hare Krishna. When Mahavishnu exhales, the spiritual seeds of the universe emanate from him in the form of molecular particles like those that are visible, 3 times the size of an atom, when sunlight is diffused through a small hole. In these days of atomic research, it will be a worthwhile engagement for atomic scientists to learn from this statement how the entire creation develops from the spiritual atoms emanating from the body of the Lord. So, as you say, Prabhuji, that the Brahma and other lords who are under the direction of the Supreme Personal Godhead, Krishna, does all the control all the material affairs, they appear from the pores of Mahavishnu and remain alive for the duration of his one exhalation. So, as our Brahma, as you said, that lives 311 trillion years for his 100 years lifetime, according to our, it will be 311 years lifetime, and after that they'll go back to the Lord's body that we did in the previous verse. And this, when the Lord creates these millions of billions of these planets, as we know that Mahavishnu, from exhalation it comes. So in the Brahma Samhita, the Brahma is offering prayer to the Mahavishnu, who is nothing but a planet portion of the Supreme Lord. And here, probably I could not concentrate in this line. Probably you can explain the 3 times size of an atom, this part. Back to Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, I was checking a picture in this regard, which we can have a look. Of course, it's just to give some understanding. The actual thing is very huge and the number of universes is unlimited. But just to give some understanding, like you see from all the bodily lomas or pores of the universe, from the feet, from the hands, from the legs, from the four-handed form of Lord, the Mahavishnu, the Karanodakshai Vishnu, from his body, his transcendental spiritual body, these tiny atoms, spiritual atoms are the word specifically used as spiritual atoms. Are coming. And they manifest to universes, the egg-shaped universes. And the point mentioned here also is that one more point is mentioned here, which I think the Prabhu was mentioning. Like those that are visible emanate from him in the form of molecular particles, atomic particles, spiritual atoms. Different synonyms are used to address those. They are visible 3 times the size of an atom when sunlight is diffused. We may have all seen that, right? Like sunlight entering through the window or through a small hole, right? We can even try to do that experiment, like cover the glass with a very dark, like a sheet of paper or cardboard or something, and put one hole in it, right? Just imagine like dark black paper, some chart paper, something, and just put one hole and let it be in the direction of the sunlight. So that streak of sunlight coming through, that's kind of mentioned here, diffused through a small hole. So we can do that experiment. Of course, Prabhupada is saying it'll be a good engagement. It'll be a worthwhile engagement for this. Of course, Prabhupada is not referring to that chart paper thing. It's referring to much bigger thing, which those who are interested can do some more research. And that research is also spiritual, if it is done under guidance of spiritual master. And then there are many scientists in ISKCON who do a lot of academic research. There is a whole wing of ISKCON who do a lot of academic research so that they can preach. I forgot the name of that scientist. There are multiple actually, Sutapa Prabhu and Sada Puta Prabhu, and one sannyasi Maharaj, I forgot his name. He left his body, but he has written multiple books in ISKCON about science and Krishna consciousness. And so that we understand that this bhakti is a very scientific process. And Bhagavatam has answers to everything. Any other thoughts anyone has?
So, Prabhuji, the universes are created from the pores as well as exhalation, both ways, right?
Basically, when he's exhaling, all these are coming out. You exhale, just imagine you're exhaling, and all these bodily pores are releasing unlimited universes. And then inhale, they're all coming back in the body of the Lord.
Got it. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. Okay, let's read a few more verses. 72. Devika Mataji, are you in a position to read? How are you doing? Very good to see you. Are you in India still, in Haridwar?
Hare Kṛṣṇa, Prabhu.
How is your health?
Hare Kṛṣṇa, Prabhu. Can you hear?
Hare Krishna, yes, I can hear you, yes.
Yes, Prabhu, I'm fine. Thank you. I'm back to Mauritius now. But I can't see back.
You can't see. Oh, you want to read? Okay, I'll share the screen. Yes, yes,
No,
please,
it's okay.
please.
It's okay, Prabhu. I'm not able to read. Okay, I'll just follow.
Okay. Okay. Good to know you are back and safe. Please take care of your health.
Yes, in 2 weeks I'll be traveling to UK now.
You'll be traveling to UK. Let us know if we can be of any seva, and please take care of your health.
Yeah.
And thank you for your sangha.
Thank you, Prabhu. I've been following all the classes. I missed only the last class. Yeah. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
You're so amazing. We are blessed to have your association. Thank you.
Prabhuji. Thank you. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Thank you.
Okay, so we'll read one more verse for today and then we'll make a pause. Yes.
Thank you.
Are you in a position to read, Mataji, or?
But I can't see, Prabhu.
Can you see now? Try.
My microphone is muted. Please tell me. No, Prabhu. I don't want to waste time, Prabhu. Continue, please.
Okay, Bipul Prabhu will read.
Sure, Prabhuji. Text 72. Tahang tamo mahadahang kho charagni barbhu sangveshti tanda ghato sapta vitosti kayo Kedigdhi dha hobi gonitando paranu chorja bata dharoma vivarasya chata mohitam. Translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Śrīla Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation: Where am I, a small creature of 7 spans, the measure of my own hand? I am enclosed in the universe, composed of material nature, the total metal energy, false ego, ether, air, water, and earth. And what is your glory? Unlimited universe. Says pass through the pores of your body, just like particles of dust passing through the opening of a window. Purport: when Lord Brahma, after having stolen all Krishna's calves and cowherd boys, returned and saw that the calves and boys were still roaming with Krishna, he offered this prayer, Bhāgavatam 10:14-11, in his defeat. A conditional soul, even one so great as Brahma, who manages the affairs of the entire universe, cannot compare to the person of the Godhead, for he can produce numberless universes simply by the spiritual rays emanating from the pores of his body. Material scientists should take lessons from the utterance of Sri Brahma regarding our insignificance in comparison to God. In these prayers of Brahma, there is much to learn for those who are falsely puffed up by the accumulation of power. So, in the previous verse, we just read that Brahma, who is the creator of this universe and who controls all the affairs of this universe, he is telling that Govindam Adi Purusham Taham Bhajami. So, Govind is the Adi, the supreme, the oldest. He is the first, and no one is like before him. So, if Brahma surrenders like this, then who am I? Very insignificant. So, whatever quality or goodness we have, actually we should be proud of it. And Prabhupada again telling, actually not the scientists, everybody should learn from the Brahma and other sages who is surrendering to the Lord and glorifying him as a supreme Lord. And then our false ego will be vanished. Back to you, Prabhupada.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. This is a very nice prayer we can meditate upon, about the greatness of the Almighty and our infinitesimal nature in front of him. Chinmaya bhaskara tumi kiranera karna ami. You are like the sun. I am like the ray of sun. Not even a ray. Kiranera karna ami. Even like an atom of the ray. Not even a ray. What comparison is between the sun and the atomic particle of the ray? There's no comparison. Brahmaji is pretty much saying that I am just a creature, 7 palms of my hand, like. But when the Lord just exhales, we just read, unlimited universes are coming. So there's no comparison. This, who is speaking this? Brahma. And a very technical point here. All of you are aware of the 14 planetary systems. We are in the Bhumandala. Bhu, Bhava, Swar, Maha, Jana, Tapa, Satya. Atal, Vital, Sutal, Talatal, Mahatal, Rasatal, Patal. As we go up, the gross elements are lower and the subtle elements are higher. In the material, there are 5 gross elements and 3 subtle elements. Earth, water, fire, air, ether are 5 gross, and my intelligence and ego are the 3 subtle elements. So as we go in upper planets, the gross effect is lower. You know, you heard like demigods, they fly, they don't step on the ground. Why? Because their bodies are more subtle. Our body is more of gross. So therefore we are busy in the gross pleasures, sensory pleasures. But Brahma, he is the chief engineer of the universe. That means he's a very intelligent being. All these people who say mastermind, intelligent, Einstein, Newton, big scientists, and they are nothing in front of Brahma. All put together also. All the best minds of the world from all the countries, the best people, the best IITs and the, Harvard and whatnot, bring them all together. They are not even at 1/1,000,000th part of Brahma's intelligence put together. That's Brahma. His body is of pure intelligence. And he is speaking this. That's his greatness. When one is truly knowledgeable, vidya dadati vinayam. One will understand this is not my intelligence. I have been blessed with that intelligence by the mercy of Lord. So I must use it in his service. Ramaji is acknowledging that and understanding his humble position. I'm just like a 7 times my hand. You are the infinite. You are the one who runs the show. So great souls are humble. Great souls are not egoistic. Great souls acknowledge their position and are well aware of the Lord's position. And they never try to be the Lord or take his position. Like some of the, I'm not saying all scientists are wrong, but many scientists, they say, oh, we want to play God, or we want to be God. That's wrong. If we try to play God, we'll burn ourselves. So better, and some of the humble ones, like even, like Newton, Einstein's, they were firm believer of God. Aryabhatta, all these great people, Ramanuja, the great mathematician, calculus and all, they were instrumental, but they were all firm believer. Calculus, which is one of the toughest subjects in mathematics in college and school, is basically means humble. So all these things, were meant, like so many scientists say that. I think I forgot who was. He picked, someone asked, what do you think about your knowledge, to a great scientist like Einstein or Newton. He was in the beach, he picked up, like if you beach, you have a wet finger, you touch on the surface of the sand, a lot of sand particles will come. He said, how many sand particles are there? Maybe 50, maybe 70, about, approximately 50 to 100 particles will easily touch your finger. If you just touch your finger in the sand, at least 50 to 100 particles will be there. He said, my intelligence is that one particle. And all this sand, all this ocean, that's the Supreme Lord. Quite similar to this prayer. So in short, this is a prayer of humility. This is a prayer of understanding our position in front of the Lord's position. So one should never try to be the Lord or overpower the Lord or become the Lord or play with God or have competition. Rather, just one try to be a humble servant. That's a healthy position to be in. Anything else anyone wants to add, tell, share? Okay, then we'll continue tomorrow with the next verse. So thank you so much for your association. Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta ki jai, Krishnadas
Jai.
Kaviraj Goswami Mahāshaya ki jai, Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveta Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyaiva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.